in the data and analytics team. So I'm very new to data and analytics. So I'm expecting
Okay.
some basics of statistics because I'm trying to get into uh, deep
Mhm.
analytics with my team. We are getting
Mhm.
some new projects, so I'm trying to get into data science.
Okay, great. Yeah, then Vikas, you have unmute yourself, so please tell me about yourself.
So Ajit, like sorry to interrupt you guys. So apart from introduction, just keep what your background. Okay, where do you work? Okay, where do you study, and your location. Okay, that will be helpful.
Or you can write down as well, so no issues. Vikas or Vinod and Ravinder, A, could you please tell me something about yourself, your background, from which location you are, so that we can relate the things. Yeah,
Hi there.
Vinod.
Hi guys, this is Vinod.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm as of now I'm in Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working as product engineer in Wipro Technologies.
Okay.
I don't have any knowledge about this statistics and data analytics and all. Currently working on Java, and I
Mm-hmm.
need some basics where I can carry forward into this data analytics part and all.
Okay, okay, great. Hi, Shruti. So I got your name. Okay. So you are doing, as because you are pursuing MBA, Shruti. So I think you have a little bit knowledge about stat. I don't know what was your major subject in graduation. So are you from eco or stat or maths background in that background or commerce background? Okay, so descriptive stats, you know a little bit. Okay, great. Okay, Ravi, and someone else have messaged me. Let's see. Okay, Ravinder, computer science. So, do you have any knowledge of statistics,
Yes,
Ravinder
I
and
have.
Shruti? Okay, you have that one. So, okay. So most of the people are non-statistical background. Some of you have a little bit knowledge in stat, and some of you are totally. I mean, this statistics world is totally unknown to you. So not an issue. The way we have structured our syllabus, we have used a very simple language and simple examples so that you can understand the concept very easily. And before I start, I would like to tell you something like, see, as because you want to pursue your career in data analytics in future, so you can see here even when you will do other software classes or regarding the statistical analysis, you will get to see that you don't have to remember any formula or anything. Okay, even if when you are working in a data analytics part, right? So there also you will never require to remember the formula. What is most important part, that is the concept of statistics. What concept of statistics you can apply at what situation, and how to interpret the result, that is very important. Okay, so the way we have structured our syllabus, we have given I mean importance to these parts. Okay, not the formulas. Don't worry about the formulas. Yes, because you people are working or studying, you already know that the formulas are available in Google. Even the companies, when they take the interviews, of very basic formulas they ask, or sometimes they never ask it. They always ask you, how will you interpret this result? So we are more concerned with this result part and the interpretation part, and when what concept we can describe, we can use. So in our classes we are going to discuss about those things, and if you are having any query or anything, you are always free to ask me the questions. Always try to clear your concepts. don't give much focus on the formula. Trust me, from my own experience, I'm telling you, no one is there going to ask you the formula. Even the interviewer don't know the formulas, because sometimes it's very difficult to remember those formulas, as because it's available. So why take that much stress? Only you have to understand the concept, and you should know how to interpret the result. Okay, guys. So is it clear? Okay. Vinod, Vikas, Ravinder, Ajit, Shruti, is it clear, guys? So that we can start, right, Sajid?
Yes, you.
Okay, great. So let's start discussing the concepts first. Today we are going to discuss the descriptive analytics part, descriptive statistics part. So today I'm going to cover this module 1 part. Okay, there we will discuss about data, frequency, some charts are also there, central tendency, dispersion, skewness, kurtosis, correlation, regression. Let's see how much we can proceed with this part. Okay, so first,
Mautrisha, sorry to interrupt you. Are you sharing your screen?
as we, yeah, sure. Yes, it's not showing. Okay, let me check then.
Not yet.
But it's actually, I'm sharing.
Guys, are you able to see the screen, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Okay, so guys, so as because it's a data analytics part, so we are going to deal with the data. So first we should know what is data, what are the types of data we can get in our analysis part. So that's why our first topic is data. So guys, you people tell me, what do you think? What is data? You don't have to use any bookish word or anything. What do you think? What is data? Guys, what is data? Okay, Shruti. Fine. Ajit, okay. Great. Vinod is correct. Metadata, okay. Fine. Info. Great, guys. So, yes. So, it's a piece of information. Right. So, you can see my screen, right? Sajid, you also can see my screen now? Okay. So it's a piece of information. Suppose I want to interpret the result, I want to come to some conclusion, I want to take some strategy, so that I have to collect some data which will give me some information about a fact. Suppose I want to know how my students are performing in my class, right? So I would consider the key indicator as their marks. So I have to go to each individual, ask their marks and write it down, and then after collecting this sort of information, I'm going to do some analysis, and on the basis of that, I will take some decision, right, guys? So data is a piece of information. Mainly, we can divide our data into two categories. One is quantitative, another one is qualitative. Okay? So from the name only, you can understand that what is quantitative, which we can count or which we can measure, right? So it is expressed in numbers, so numerical values, right? So just like your heights, weights, ages, that we can count in numbers. And another one is there, it's qualitative. It's like religion and caste. What is religion and caste? Can you measure or can you count? No, obviously not. It is not stated in numerical terms. Guys, this part would be at above, the variable part, and attribute would be here. Okay. So somehow it's misplaced. So now, when we have divided our data into two parts, one is qualitative, which is actually describing the quality. Suppose how I'm teaching you, what is the quality of my teaching? Okay. This is what qualitative data, and it is termed as attribute. Qualitative data is termed as attribute, not the quantitative. Okay. And quantitative data that we can measure in numbers, just like your weights, heights, and everything. You can see everyone's weight is not similar, right? It's not same. Everyone's height is not same. So the value of height can vary. As because the value can vary, we are calling it variable. Right? So till this, is it clear, guys? So we have discussed two things, like data can be split into two main categories. One is quantitative, another one is qualitative. Quantitative, that can be measured or that can be expressed in numerical values. And qualitative, it's telling about some quality. So quality cannot be measured in terms of numbers, right? So qualitative data is called attribute and quantitative data is called variables. Why it's variable, can you tell me? I already discussed this. Why it's variable? Ajit, can you tell me? He writes. So see, your height and my height is not same, right? So it's varying. So individual, I mean person to person, the value varies. So that's why we are calling it variable. Right? Great, guys. Now, next part. Variables can further divided into two types. Okay, one is continuous, another one is discrete. So what is continuous data? Suppose the size of agricultural holding, or suppose your height. It can take any value. Suppose I'm telling you that your height might be from 5 to 6 feet. So 5 to 6 feet, I'm giving some range, and it can take any value within this range. So 5.555, 5.678, in that way. So it can take any value within this range. So that's why we are calling it continuous. So continuity is there. Okay. Discrete, if I ask you that how many members are there in your family, obviously you can't say it's 5.612 or 5.789, right? So you have to say either 5 or 6 or 3 or 2, in that way. So it's an isolated number, right? So that's why we are calling it discrete number. So again, I'm telling you, variables can be split into two parts. One is continuous, another one is discrete. Continuous means it can take any value within a given range, just like your height or size of agricultural holding, anything like that, even weight as well. And discrete means suppose how many students are attending our session. Okay, so it can't be like 4.7 or 4.89, 10. It can be 4 or 5 or 10 or 14, like that. So it is discrete in nature. So this part is the variables part. Now again, our qualitative data, that is attribute as well, we are calling it attribute as well. So it also can be split into two parts, nominal and ordinal. First, let's discuss the nominal part. So qualitative data is telling about the quality. Suppose the color of hair, color of eyes, right? So you might have your own preference, like I might like blue eyes or I might like brown eyes. That's my preference. But generally or universally, we can't rank it. Means I can't say that this is the best one and which is universally accepted fact. You can't say, right? So color of hair, I might like brown hair, okay, or black hair. It's my own preference. But generally or universally, we can't rank it. So that is what nominal data. Now, what is ordinal data? It's actually coming from the term ordering. Okay, ordering means we can rank it, just like my teaching quality. Suppose after the class, you are asked to give the feedback. Okay, now when you are giving the feedback, it's actually showing the quality, okay, of my teaching technique or teaching skill. So suppose, and most of the time we give this feedback in Big Bazaar or in Pantaloons mainly. So it's very good. Suppose start from the very beginning. If it's poor, the quality is very poor, so the service quality, then give 1. If it's not so poor, but actually it's so kind of, so 2. Then you give good. Suppose it's a good service, so you give 3. It's very good, then give 4. It's excellent, then it's 5. Okay, hopefully you are not going to give me 1 or 2, guys. So anyway, so jokes apart, so in this way we can rank it like this. You can rank my teaching quality by ranking it, by giving some number. Actually putting this number, what you are doing, you are ranking the quality, just like your grade system, guys. So this is what your ordinal approach. So guys, let me know if you have any query or it's clear to everyone. Okay. Vikas is clear. We know this clear. Great, guys. Thanks, Shruti. Okay. Thanks, Vikas. So, Ajit and Ravinder, do you have any query? Okay, clear. Thank you. Ajit, you are clear? So, Ajit, you have some problem? Oh, okay, clear. Thank you. Okay, guys, so let's move on then. Okay. So it is categorical data. Now we are going to discuss about the categorical data. Mainly in theory part, I never got this concept, categorical data, in this way, okay? But when we have, started working in this analytics domain, or we got to know about this analytics world, we actually classify the variables into 3 categories. It's a character, just like your attribute part, it's a variable part, and it's a categorical data. So it's a kind of nominal data or attribute, but it can be split into some more groups, just like your suppose gender. Okay, it's a quality. Sometimes it can be like how many companies are there which are producing laptops. Okay, this is in numerical term you can express. Sometimes some variables or some attributes are there, just like my gender. This kind of data can be split into 3 or 4 more groups. Okay, but the group number is finite in nature. Just let's take the example of gender. So gender can be split into 3 groups, right? Gender is itself a nominal data, right? It's a character or it's an attribute, right? Qualitative data. Now it also can be split into 3 groups. There is categories, right? So male, female, and others, right? So it can be split into 3 more groups. So this sort of data is called categorical data. Got my point? So there might be some attribute or some variables which itself can be split into some more groups. Okay, remember the number of groups are finite in nature. It's not numerous or it's not infinite. You can count the number. Just like how many companies are there which are producing laptops. Obviously this is countable, right? The number is finite, but it is divided into certain groups, right? Some companies, so certain groups are there. So this is finite in nature and it is splitted into some groups. So then we are calling this data as categorical data. So from nominal or from that variable part only, we are getting this type of data, okay, and which can be splitted into some finite number of groups. We are calling it categorical data. In theory, you might not get this categorical data concept, mainly when you are using the statistical concept or you are dealing with the data in practical analytics world. You will get to know about this categorical data. Okay, so take the example of gender and it would be clear to you all. So guys, let me know, because our data concept is done over here. Next is one assignment is there, what I'm going to ask you in class only, that you have to tell me which type of data is it. So before that, I would like to know if you are having any query or any doubt, or we can proceed. Okay, so Vikas, Ajit, Ravinder, Shruti, Binod, is it clear, guys? Great. Okay. So now you have no problem with this categorical data part, because when you will do some statistical analysis or the software you are going to use is going to tell you it's a categorical data or factor, so you will not get confused, right? Because it's clear to you. Great, guys. So let's come to our assignment part. Let me give you this assignment. Now here I'm having some characters. Okay, this family size, family income, mother tongue, division obtained by a student, and height of an individual. So you have to tell me whether it's a variable or attribute. If it's variable, then whether it is discrete or continuous. If it is attribute, then whether it is nominal or ordinal. You don't have to consider the categorical data here. Only you tell me that what type of data is it, and I would request you to write down your answers all together, like A, B, C, D, E, and then you post your answer so that I can check it. Otherwise, if you are writing A's answer and then after some time you are writing B's answer, it will be very difficult, right? So write down the answers all together of these 5 questions, 5 characters, and then you post the answer, and then I'm going to tell you. And you have only 2 minutes. Okay, so it's very easy. So do it, please, for me. Okay, I'm getting so many answers. Okay, another 1 minute and then I'm going to discuss the answers. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's discuss then. Let me check first your answers. Okay. Hmm. Great. Nominal attribute ordinal variable. Okay. Attribute data because it's a D continuous, right? Um. Okay. Let me discuss then. Shruti, I have got your answer. Okay. So I got answer from Vikas, Shruti, Vinod. Okay. Ajit. Ravinder, your answer? Ravinder, are you there? Post your answer, please. Okay, guys. So let me discuss more or less. You have given the correct answers. So first one, family size. So family size is obviously discrete and it's variable. Very good. Then it's family income. Now it can be discrete, it can be continuous as well. In some books or in somewhere it is considered as continuous and somewhere it is considered as discrete, as because after 2 decimal we usually don't take the point, I mean the number in consideration. So in that way we can say it it's a discrete one, otherwise you can say it continuous. So both are correct. Mother tongue is obviously an attribute. Okay, and it's nominal in nature. We can't rank it. Very good. Division obtained by a student, it's also an attribute, and it's what? It's ordinal because ranking, division. Height of an individual is variable and is continuous in nature. Excuse me. So almost you have given, I mean most of you have given the correct answer. So very good. Well done, guys. So, and Ravinder, I have not got your answer. Are you facing any problem or anything? You can ask me. So feel free to ask me the questions if you are having any kind of queries. Okay, guys. So this was our data type. Mainly, when you will deal with the data, this sort of data you are going to get. Variables, attribute, or sometimes we are calling it character. Okay, and categorical data. So it's clear to everyone. So now next topic is frequency. Now tell me, guys, what do you think? What is frequency? Yes? Do you want to tell me anything, guys? Any one of you? Okay. So what is frequency? What do you think? What is frequency? In daily life, we are going to use the frequency of trains are not so good here. Okay, right. Number of occurrence, right, Ajit? So yes, how many times the number or the value I'm getting. So that is what our number of occurrence. Okay. So frequency of a value of a variable is the number of times it occurs in a given series of observations. Now, I have a data set. When I asked you that what is data, Shruti has told me it's unstructured in nature. So I have an unstructured data, right? But I can't use this unstructured data directly in my data analysis part. So what I need to do, I need to structure the data. Okay. So here what I have got, daily number of car accidents. It is recorded over a period of 30 days. So 30 days data is available. Now, first day, what I can see, 4 accidents were there. Second day, 3 accidents. Third day, 4 accidents again. So many values I'm getting. 4, 3, 5, 7. So I can use the value with its number of occurrence, and I can form this unstructured data in a table format. How to do it? Let's see. See here, daily number of accidents. So how many days were there when 3 accidents occurred? Okay. How many days are there when 4 accidents were there? Okay. So it's 3 accidents for 5 days. We have got this value. 4 accidents, so 9 days. 5 accidents, 11 days. In this way, we have structured the data in a tabular form. This is what frequency distribution. Okay. Now, why is it simple frequency distribution? See here, we have got only some isolated values. 3, 4 single values we have got. No range is there. It's 3, 4, 5, 6 in that way. So only single value you are getting. So that's why we are calling it simple frequency distribution. Another type of frequency distribution is there, that is group frequency distribution. Suppose I'm conducting some classes, okay, and I have collected the data on age of my students, okay. So, and then I have grouped it. See here we are having the first group. It's from 15 to 19, from 20 to 24, from 25 to 29. So some groups I'm getting. So that's why. And within this first range, 15 to 19, we are having 37 students. So 37 is my frequency. 15 to 19 is my range, right? So here, as because we are using the range, that's why we are calling this frequency distribution as grouped frequency distribution. Okay. Now, when you are doing group frequency distribution, some concepts we should know. Number 1 is class interval. The range 15 to 19, 20 to 24, that is what? Class interval. The range is termed as class interval. Each range is termed as class, each group. So 15 to 19, this age group is coming under the first class interval, then second class interval. 15 to 19, in this range we are having 37 students, right? So this frequency is called class frequency. Okay, the number of observations falling within a class is called its class frequency. So 15 to 19 is a class. Within this, 37 observations we are having. Okay, so 37 people are there whose age is between 15 to 19, this age group. So this is what our class frequency. Okay, now class limits. So when you are having a range, obviously we are having one lower limit and upper limit, the starting point of the range and the ending point of the range, right? So 15 is the lower limit, the lowest value of that particular class. 19 is the maximum number of this particular group. So 15 is my lower limit and 19 is my upper limit. So for each class or for each range, I will get one lower limit and one upper limit. Okay. Now here what you can see is a discrete in nature, right? It's 15 to 19. Then next range is starting from 20 to 24. Next range is starting from 25 to 29. So it's not continuous in nature. But in analysis, sometimes we require to get the continuous data because it has some advantages to use the continuous data. So suppose we are having this discrete data and we want to convert it into continuous data. Continuous data means what should be that? It's 15.19, 15 to 19, then 19 to 24 in that way, right? So we should do in that way. So now there we are going to use the class boundary concept. To make the discrete data a continuous one, we are going to use the class boundary concept. Now it's very important how we calculate the class boundary. Yes, obviously your software will do everything, but the calculation is very easy. So let's calculate it and let's discuss how to calculate this class boundary. Now what you are going to do, first you consider the first range. What is the first range? It's 15 to 19. Take the upper limit of that range. So what is the upper limit? It's 19, right guys? Next, come to the next range. Take the lower limit of that range. So it's 20. Okay, so we took upper limit of our first range and lower limit of our second range. Now, what is the difference between these two numbers? 20 minus 19. So we got 1, right? Divided by 2. We are getting difference as 1 divided by 2. So when you are dividing it by 2, what you are getting is 0.5. Now this 0.5 you need to deduct from each class lower limit and add it with each class upper limit. So 15 minus 0.5, 19 plus 0.5. So what you are getting? From 14.5 to 19.5. Then come to the next range. In similar way, you have to deduct 0.5 from your lower limit, that is 20 minus 0.5, you are getting 19.5. And you have to add it with your upper limit, that is 24.5. In similar way, you have to do this calculation for each of this range, and then you can see there is a continuity. So you will get 14.5 to 19.5, 19.5 to 24.5, 24.5 to 29.5, 29.5 till 34.5. In this way we will get the class boundaries. So now the limits, the upper limit and lower limit, are termed as class boundaries. Now for the continuous data, we are calling these two limits as class boundaries: upper class boundary and lower class boundary. Now guys, tell me, is it clear, the class boundary concept? From 14.5 to 19.5, we will have 37 only. From 19.5 to 24.5, we will have 81 only, in that way. Okay, so frequencies are not going to be changed. Okay, now one more thing I would like to tell you, that for continuous frequency, we usually use the cumulative frequency. I will come to that cumulative frequency part. But for the time being, you remember that there would not be any change in the frequency part. Okay, so it will remain same, only the ranges are getting changed. Okay, we are just calculating the boundaries. And for continuous data, we use cumulative frequency part. So I'm coming to that part in just 2 minutes. Okay, Shruti, is it fine? Okay, great guys. So next is your another two concepts. Width. What is width? It's a difference between the lower and upper boundary. Don't consider limit here, because width is mainly used for the continuous data, and whenever we are talking about the continuous data, we are considering the class boundary mainly. Okay, and there we are using the concept of width. So width is the difference between the lower and upper class boundaries. Next is your class frequency distribution density. What is frequency density? The class frequency, what you have got, class frequency means this one, this 3781 number of occurrence, divided by width of the class, means the difference between the upper boundary and lower boundary. In analysis or in data analysis, we usually use this width concept and the class boundary concept for the continuous data and for the cumulative frequency part. And I think you have heard of some kind of chart is there, histogram. Okay, so for that chart, we are using this frequency part and the width part and the class boundaries part mainly. Okay, because histogram is actually showing you, it's a graphical representation of continuous data's frequency distribution. Okay, so there also we are using the cumulative frequency concept. So now we are going to discuss what is cumulative frequency. Before that, I would like to tell you, like, see here one table is given. Okay, same tables data I have used here. The age range, it's from 15 to 19, 20 to 24. Class frequencies are also written over here. The first line I did it. Okay, the lower class limit is 15, the upper class limit is 19. Then we have calculated the class boundary. Okay, so we have got the lower class boundary as 14.5, upper class boundary as 19.5. Difference between this upper class boundary and lower class boundary is 5. And frequency density is, class frequency means this 37 divided by 5. So we are getting 7.4. So when you will get this file, please don't copy paste it because it's in Excel, so you can copy paste. I'd request you at least for the second and third line, do it by yourself, so that you know you will get the point how the calculations are done. Okay, and then you can copy paste. So then you can utilize the Excel's properties. But before that, please use the concept, do it by yourself, calculate it manually, and clear your concept. Okay, guys. Now next is your cumulative frequency, and that is our last part. Okay. Now, see, we know this concept, what is cumulative part, right? We have the recurring deposit in our banks, right, or in post office. So there is a recurring kind of deposits, right? So the interest rate they are calculating, it's compound interest, it's actually cumulative in nature. So what is cumulative? There we require the class boundaries concept. Okay, and it's for continuous data. So we are having class boundaries 14.5, 19.5. I have taken only the lower class boundaries. Okay, so now my question is, how many students are there whose age is below 14.5? Let me show you the table. This is my table. Now this 15.15 has become 14.5. Now if anyone asks you that how many people are there whose age is below 15 or below 14.5, what would be your answer? Is there anyone whose age is below 15 or below 14.5? My range is starting from 14.5 age group. So is there anyone whose age is below 14.5? Tell me, guys. Shruti, Vinod, Vikas, Ajit, Ravinder. Is there anyone whose age is no? So no one is there. Okay, Shruti told me it's no. Vikas, Vinod, Ajit, what do you think? Is there anyone? Vinod and Vikas? Okay, so no one is there. So what would be the count for that? The count would be 0, right? So, see, how many people are there whose age is below 14.5? So it's actually 0. No one is there. Now, if I ask you that how many people are there whose age is below 19.5? So what I will consider? I will consider that range 14.5 to 19.5, that range, and I will add that frequency here. So 37 students are there whose age is below 19.5 or less than equal to 19.5, right? So 37. Next, if I ask you that how many people are there or how many students are there whose age is below 24.5. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, so the thing is that today we need to conclude over here. So next day we can start from the cumulative part again, and if you are having any query from that part, so you can tell me. Okay, guys?
Just to conclude,
Bye then.
1 minute. Just to conclude, okay, we'll have a recording of this session, okay, and the documents which Matrisha is sending us, okay, we'll supply it to you guys, okay. The videos will be uploaded in YouTube, okay, and the documents will be sent to your email ID, so that you have access to that future as well, okay. And for any queries, you can reply to that mail as well, okay. We'll be waiting for your mail. So meet you at the same time next Saturday. Thanks a lot. Bye.